This crash course episode for bosses is all about webinars. And my first and most important recommendation in this topic is to just do it. Most webinars, when you start, they suck. They don't work right. Speakers screw up. They're unrefined. That's okay. You got to get started somewhere. That being said, here are the 3 top tips that I recommend after doing webinars for the last 5 years to literally tens of thousands of participants. All right, tip number 1. Pick trending topics. Do not fall into the trap of having your webinar calendar be based on your products and services. People don't care. That's not what people are searching for, but rather figure out what are the things that people are searching for online that are trending in terms of the seasonality of your product. And you can also base these topics on the pages on your website that get the most amount of traffic. What you'll find by doing trending topic related and more importantly named webinars is you're going to get way more people. Now, that being said, the webinar itself, the point of it is of course to showcase how your product or service is the best answer to a problem that they're already having around one of these trending topics. All right, tip number 2, pre-record. This is a big one. I literally made a ton of mistakes over years, and then we realized, why the heck don't we just pre-record the whole thing? Get everybody to sign on to a live webinar, and then hit the play button. Once we started doing that, man, our webinars were much higher quality because we edited out all the screw-ups. They were shorter, and we could focus on the thing that really mattered, which is the live chat that's happening as people are asking questions, and the live Q&A. So the way that this actually works is all webinar providers, the most popular one is GoToWebinar. They allow, basically when the webinar is done, you hit the publish button and then it's going to record to an MP4. You can then take that file and you can edit it. If you're doing like live slides where you don't have faces, you can actually export your audio and your video separately. You can make all the revisions to your audio where you might have had some screw-ups. You might have had a speaker that was rambling and rambling and rambling. You can edit it all down. Typically, it'll go from like 30 minutes down to like 22 minutes. And then you can slice back in the audio and literally hit the button and have perfect transitions on your slides. But again, that being said, after that 25 minutes or 45 minutes, however long your webinars are, you then can literally stop the recording, and your speakers that have dialed into the webinar can unmute themselves, and then your host can say, now we're going to take live questions from the audience while your question and answer slide is up, and then they'll start populating questions into the chat, and then the host can say, here's the next question for Jeremy. Jeremy, this question comes from so-and-so in this city, and then of course I can give that real-time response. I will take this moment to mention, amazingly, webinar length doesn't matter. We tested out 30-minute, 45-minute, 15-minute, 60-minute. What we actually found is that people get on all the way up till about 10 minutes after it starts, and then they stay all the way to the end. And then as soon as you basically start to talk about ending, they end instantly. And the reason why we believe this is because people are actually calling into the webinar, logging into the webinar online, and they're letting it play in the background. And so it's actually an opportunity to have an audience for a long, long period of time. So in other words, if people are still asking questions, I would keep answering those questions. Because unlike other forms of content, if somebody is participating in a webinar, they're actually asking questions, you are absolutely moving them down the sales cycle so that a good webinar should lead to a lot of, one-call closes, so to speak. All right, my third tip is to repurpose webinars everywhere. Probably the best part about putting together webinars is that you can use that content everywhere. You can use it on your Evergreen Pages, and if you don't know what an Evergreen Page is, we'll have another webinar. We'll have another crash course that's all about those. That's real SEO. You can use them for case studies, you can use them for ads, and you can use them for landing pages. Those great talking points, those great testimonials, those great examples, they're all going to be showcased on a webinar anyway, And now all you have to do is cut them up, remove the audio, add the audio, and you can use them everywhere. All right, last thing I want to leave you with, and this is a giant partner stat, but 50% of all B2B customers watch webinars before making a purchase. This is a big deal. So in other words, if you're not doing webinars, you're really missing out. And again, what's the main thing I want to communicate with this crash course? Just do it. Thank you. Thanks for listening. If you'd like to reach out to me personally, please fill out the form. Look forward to working with you. See you on the future episodes.